So, the rest of today's video was deleted. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I just automatically go to hit delete all, and I hit delete all, and I realized I just deleted every day, all day's vlog. So, we're going to have a really short vlog today, and it's not going to start with me waking up and tell you good morning, because, yeah, because that video got deleted. So, good evening. It's almost 5 o'clock. So, we're going to be heading out to church here shortly for our evening service, but you'll have a long clip in that. So, yeah, we'll see how tonight goes. Oh my gosh, look at this sunset. It's gorgeous. I am capturing it. All of this gorgeousness. Got it on Snapchat now too. It's beautiful. We gotta go.
We found out that Esther became the queen. The queen was fired. Esther came in. She became the new queen. And while she was as the queen, a law was made that all the Jewish people should be killed on the 13th day of the 12th month, the month Adar. And everybody, of course, was all worried about it. They were, oh, the heck, we're all going to die. We don't like this. We don't want this to be happening anymore. We wish we could change it, but they couldn't. And Esther was convinced to go to the king and talk to him, even though she wasn't invited to go talk to him, which was very dangerous. What could have happened if she went to what? She could have been killed. But God worked in the king's heart, and God gave grace to Esther, and he did not have her killed. But instead, God used Queen Esther to reveal the plan. Haman was eventually killed. And then the law was made that all the Jews could defend themselves. Remember, the king couldn't undo the law, but he could make a law that said the Jews could defend themselves when he came. So now we're getting very close. Queen Esther asked the king to reverse the letters that Haman had sent to all the provinces. Cheerfully she said, "How can I endure to see the evil that shall come to my people and the destruction that shall come to my relatives?" Though Haman was dead, the mischief that he had devised against the Jews was not over. The decree was still the law that all the Jews should be killed on the 13th day of the month Adar. And the message had gone out to the farthest corners of the Persian Empire. And the enemies of the Jews were already preparing to slaughter all the Jews in their area. In those days, the law of the Medes and the Persians could not be changed, even by the king himself. And so the king would be unable to reverse the law that he had made. The king said, "Behold, I have given the estate of Haman to Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, and Haman has been hanged on the gallows because of his plot against the Jews. And Mordecai, you can write a new law which will overrule and counteract Haman's law, and I will seal it with my ring, making it impossible to be changed." The king called for the scribes and told them to write whatever Mordecai dictated to them. So a second letter was written by Mordecai to all the people of the Persian Empire. It was written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring. Now Haman's edict had given permission for the people to kill the Jews and to take all their stuff. Mordecai's letter gave permission to the Jews to defend themselves against their enemies. Mordecai carefully worded the law, saying the Jews would be fully supported by the king, and the king encouraged the Jews to be prepared to fight against their attackers. Thus Mordecai's law would counteract Haman's law. Mordecai's edict was to go out immediately to the Jews, to the lieutenants, to the deputies, to all the rulers of the king's provinces from India to Ethiopia, to all the 127 provinces, and the letter was to be translated into the language message of all the people. There was not much time to carry the message to all these distant places. Mordecai sent the letters by the fastest riders on their mules and their horses and their camels that were trained for speed. Speed? And he wanted to make sure the message arrived in all, that must have been the shortest. He wanted to make sure the message arrived in all the provinces in time to spare the Jews. When Haman's message had gone to many provinces of the great Persian Empire, the Jews had torn their clothes and wailed in grief. Now the day came when another swift horse galloped into town. The rider dismounted, and the people recognized the rider as a post from the king. Immediately they gathered to hear the new message the king had sent. The post's voice rang out loud and clear as he read the message. The king gives permission to all the Jews of his realm to defend themselves, their families, and their possessions against the attacks of their enemies on the 13th day of the month of Adar. They should prepare to fight for their lives and for their goods. The Jews who had heard this were amazed. They were thrilled. They could hardly believe what they were hearing. It caused great joy and gladness in every Jewish home as the fathers told their families, the king has declared that we will not have to die on the 13th of Adar. The king has said we may defend ourselves against any who attack us. We will begin to prepare to defend ourselves. We are not going to die after all. The king has given us the wonderful permission to defend ourselves. They wept for joy and laughed and sang together as in every Jewish home. When the 13th day of the month Adar finally arrived, the Jews were prepared to defend themselves valiantly for those who had hated them. And the king and the local officials were on the side of the Jews. In most areas, no one dared to bother the Jews, because they knew the Jews were all well prepared to fight back. This was a surprising turn of events, and many people were so impressed with the Jews and with their God who was working for them that they too became Jews. After the 13th day of Adar came and went, the Jews celebrated by resting, feasting, and rejoicing. Mordecai sent letters to all the Jews in all the provinces telling them that in the future they should keep the 14th and 15th days of Adar each year as holidays in remembrance of God's delivering them from the enemies and causing them to greatly rejoice. This special holiday each year was called Purim, and the Jews were to celebrate those days in feasting, rejoicing, and sending gifts to one another. Many Jews today still celebrate Purim on March 14th and 15th. They read the book of Esther together, recalling what brave Queen Esther did for the Jewish people. After that, King Ahasuerus exalted Mordecai to the kingdom, or in the kingdom, next to himself. In that exalted position, Mordecai always looked after the welfare of the Jewish people. In return, the Jews loved and respected Mordecai. Do you wonder how this tragic story could have such a happy ending? It is because the Jews fasted and prayed, and God changed their tragedy into a triumph. The events all turned around because they prayed, and because God worked for them. God is able to do surprising things because he is all-knowing, all-wise, all-loving, and all-powerful. The story of Esther makes us know how important it is to pray. It really does pay to pray. It was after the Jews fasted and prayed that the events changed in their favor. Remember the night before Mordecai was to be hanged, God made King Ahasuerus unable to sleep. The king called for the royal records to be read to him, and hearing that what Mordecai had done, he wanted to honor Mordecai. So instead of hanging Mordecai, Haman was hanged, and the Jews were spared. Though God's name is never mentioned in the book of Esther, we do see his power throughout the events. We see his love for his people. We see that he rules over kings and changes events, even when his people